welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. My goal is to save you time and money by giving you the inside scoop on the quality and content of films so that you can decide whether or not you want to watch a particular film. So thank you for spending a few minutes with me. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is called LaRoy, Texas. This comedy slash crime slash thriller is now available to rent or purchase on streaming platforms like Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, and Fandango at home. The film is rated R. It's an hour and 52 minutes, and my overall movie review mom grade is an A-. I actually got a real big kick out of this one. So let me give you an overview in a nutshell first, and then I'll point out things I really liked, things I didn't, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with some recommendations for films that are sort of similar that I think you might also really like if you like this one, and vice versa. If you like those, then you might like this one. All right, so let's dive in. In a nutshell, the story is about a man who finds out his wife is cheating on him and decides he's going to go kill himself until a stranger mistakes him for a low-rent hitman. The movie was written and directed by Shane Atkinson, who is making his film debut. Already, the film has been nominated and won 5 awards from various film festivals. So kudos to Atkinson, who looks to have a very bright future in film. I'm excited to see what he's going to do next. So if you like the quirky Coen Brothers movies, you might get a kick out of this one. Let me give you some tips for parents really quickly. The movie is not really appropriate for kids. There is profanity, including F-bombs. We see murder with blood splatters. I think kids are going to be bored because there's a lot of adults talking. We see a man in only his boxers, and there's a lot of talk of death and dying and murder and shenanigans. So some of the themes that are illustrated very well are justice, crime, dreams and goals, desperation, infidelity, respect, and believing in yourself. So there's a long list of things that I really liked about this film, starting off with Steve Zahn. I have been such a big fan of his for years. He always chooses such interesting roles to play, and his character in this film, like most of the movies that he's in, is just hilarious. Dylan Baker does an outstanding job in this role, and I don't know that I had seen him in anything before. The entire cast really does a beautiful job creating perfectly flawed, believable, and interesting and hilarious characters. There are so many scenes that made me laugh out loud. There's a plot twist, and I love plot twists. The movie poster is intriguing. I wanted to know more, and the movie starts with that scene. The music perfectly underscored the setting in rural Texas. And I was particularly interested to watch this because I had just gotten back from Austin, Texas, where I went to go see the total solar eclipse. And that's a much bigger city than the LaRoy, Texas. But we definitely got the Texas vibe while we were there. Now, on to the list of things that I didn't like. I think I would have changed the ending a little bit. There was something about it that didn't quite satisfy me. With some of the characters' storylines and their endings, I was like, okay, that was perfect. But there were some other characters and their choices and their predicaments that I was like, really? That's how you're going to end that little nugget? So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. I would love to get your perspective. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write down funny lines and interesting lines simply so I can share them with you so you get a taste for the dialogue and the script writing quality. And I have them all in my written review at moviereviewmom.com, but I'll share some of them with you right now. So Steve Zahn plays this detective whose name is Skip, and he is just quite the character. So something happens and he says, "This is a conundrum, a real conundrum." And I don't know why, but I just thought that that was kind of funny. Now, Stacy Lynn is this wife who's having an affair. She's played by Megan Stevenson. And she says about Steve Zahn's character, this detective, "You look like you're going to cowboy prom," because he's got the cowboy hat and the little cowboy necktie thing, which is just too cords, that kind of thing, and the cowboy boots and the whole thing. And I just thought that was kind of funny because several characters comment on his outfit. Why is he wearing that? Yes, he's in Texas, but it's modern day Texas and people don't really dress like that anymore, do they? Anyway, and then another point, John Magaro plays this man who finds out his wife is cheating on him, and he's the detective Steve Zahn is talking about him. He's like, "Hey, that's my wife," and Steve Zahn says, "Yeah, your lying, cheating wife," which is true. And then the whole time Steve Zahn is like, "We're best friends, we got to go on a fishing trip as soon as we solve this crime, and John McGarrow's character's like, "We're not friends. I don't even know you. What are you talking about?" Anyway, something happens, and then Steve Zahn says, "Fishing trip off." Anyway, he's just got this really fun, likable, goofy personality. He stole every scene that he was in. He really made the movie for me. Now, some of the interesting lines are, one is spoken by Dylan Baker, and the movie starts off and you're just like, oh, he's just kind of a, well, I don't know. I don't want this movie to be filled with spoilers. But anyway, he does such a really good job. But he says wisely, people only see what we let them. Maybe that was too much of a spoiler because I resisted telling you. Anyway, another line that he says is people only get away with what we let them. And he actually has a lot of interesting lines. He also says, if we want people to respect us, we need to give them a reason. And I thought that was actually a really good line. And then another line that really becomes a running thread throughout the movie is also spoken by Dylan Baker's character when he says, it's important to finish things once we start them. And that is displayed in several different ways by different characters, which I thought was really interesting. Now, another funny line, I guess, it's true, but it's also funny, is also spoken by Steve Zahn. And he's just so tired of this husband who's suicidal because his wife had an affair. He's just like, get over it, and he says, you got to stop with the sad moping routine. Chicks don't like it. Now, Steve Zahn's character has so many funny lines, but he says something that is a big theme of the whole movie when he says, I know what it's like to not be taken seriously. People are just laughing at him because he's not a real detective and he's dressed like this crazy cowboy. But it really resonates with the main protagonist, which is this husband whose wife cheated on him. And he's a pushover. His brother pushes him around. They both run this little store together. And another point, Ray, John Magarro's character, says, don't you ever think you deserve better? And they both want better. They want respect. They want people to treat them better. And so the movie is interesting to show what great lengths both of these two go to be able to be taken seriously and earn some respect. All right, so let me give you recommendations for 3 movies I instantly thought of as I was watching this one. The first one is called Yellow Bird. I am 100% sure this movie flew under the radar for most people. I recently reviewed it maybe 2 months ago. And the reason why I thought, or maybe it was more than that, I don't know, time sure flies. But anyway, the reason I thought about it was because it takes place basically in a supermarket. So there's a lot of co-workers and the relationships that they have with each other, kind of like this store where the 2 brothers work as one of the central locations where they have conversations and things happen. Some interesting things happen in that movie. It's a much smaller budget movie, but it was interesting. Another one that I thought of is called Maggie Moore. And it's got some violence and some blood and murder and all of that kind of stuff, and some other content I really wasn't happy about. However, it takes place in a small town with a detective. And so it's similar in that regard. I also reviewed that. I can't remember if that was last year. Seriously, life just goes by so fast. What I think is 2 months could be 2 years ago. I don't think it's that old of a movie. Anyway, and then another older movie, though, is called Palmer. And I thought it was really good because it also features small town, someone trying to earn respect, getting over mistakes from the past, and that kind of thing. And I won't say who, but the star of that movie is a famous multi-Grammy winning singer, believe it or not. But he does an excellent job in that film. Anyway, I reviewed all of those. You can check them all out on my Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. Hopefully my reviews are helpful. If they are, subscribe. Click the thumbs up button, comment down below, all of that, you know the drill. And by the way, the links to those videos are also down below. If you click on them and end up purchasing or renting them on Amazon, Amazon rewards me with a little, a couple of pennies, but it doesn't cost you a cent more to click on those links. So have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for your support, and join me over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of the sites, all of the social stuff. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.